Hey guys, it's Malls. Thanks so much for listening to Please Advise. Just a quick message before the show. Don't forget to subscribe in iTunes. It's super helpful for us and super helpful for you. You can also call 323-450-7408 to get your calls on the show. Again, 323-450-7408. Or email askpleaseadvise@gmail.com with your voice notes or emails. Thanks so much. Hey you guys, welcome to Please Advise. I don't have a number for this show because it's a new type of show. Christina Lopez isn't here today because I'm in New York recording with a bunch of different people. They're going to be shorter shows over the next couple weeks, but it's some fun, diverse guests. Like today, I have Michelle Collins, who you guys probably know and love. Hey, Michelle.
Malls, a pleasure.
Yeah, I did your podcast yesterday, Fresh Batch. It was great.
You were so funny. We had the best time. And I just want to paint the picture for people. We're sitting basically in the room where Mozart died. Yeah. I don't know how else to describe it, but I feel it's wonderful. It's very dark and it's great.
We also have Caitlin Thompson, who is, she's just the woman behind it all, you guys. Caitlin, explain to people what you do for a living how we know each other.
Okay, so we know each other because I'm the director of content for Acast, which is a podcasting platform. And I'm also the publisher of an independent tennis magazine.
Yes.
With whom I've done a little bit of brainstorming with my friend Michelle over the past couple of months.
Brainstorming is a strong word. I will say that I did.
We came close.
To an
executable idea.
Brainstorming. It is, I will say something. It's called Racket Magazine. It is the most beautiful magazine.
Thank you.
It's really like a stunning.
Are you a tennis head?
I'm not. But I love certain things about tennis. Like for example, US Open was here. I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Because sometimes, I just didn't go. But when Caitlin was in London, she invited me to a Wimbledon party, and I happened to also be in London.
Oh, my God.
Right?
That's really chic.
It is.
I shaved to the brow. I was so excited. I showed up. It was really far near where, across the park from Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And my friend and I got drunk. Everyone there was like fairly old. It wasn't like, well, how would you describe it? You do it.
No. I think everyone is like tennis adjacent. Like these are people who are sort of interested in tennis, but also interested in like back lawn cocktails. That's kind of our.
Smalls.
That's us.
That's back lawn cocktail.
Like everyone had a gin and tonic that was like
cocktail.
lightly sweating in the summer breeze. Like that's kind of our target audience.
To make a long story short, I do have something to give Caitlin, and I think we should get it up.
I think we should do that. Yeah.
I love a gift. I love
this is it. And I'm not talking anymore. I know I'm saying a lot right now. So Caitlin, my friend and I snuck into Wimbledon, and that's a fact, just to the merchandise store. And Caitlin was like, "Bring us a T-shirt."
Okay.
So I said, "Okay." So I spent a hum and a pounds, a lot, on this T-shirt for your son.
My 3-year-old.
Your 3-year-old. I hope it still fits because this was feels like 3 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I walked all the way back to the party to give it to you, and you had already left.
I'm a star.
I was pissed. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I was like fuming. And then I had to not only take it back with me to New York. I'm moving on Monday, so I wanted to give it to you. From Wimbledon, here's a little T-shirt.
Can you hear the crinkling wrapping of this beautiful Wimbledon shirt?
Oh, that is chic as fuck.
Wimbledon. You guys, if you don't know anything about Wimbledon, the iconography is on point. It's purple and green, and this is going to look incredible.
That means nothing to me. Are those the Wimbledon colors?
Yes, they are the Wimbledon colors.
That's
Wimbledon
awesome.
does nothing better. Thank you.
It's official
merchandise. Thank you not only for getting it, schlepping it.
Thank you.
And coming back to the party where I wasn't and still being my friend. Which I think is actually the testament.
That's what's stuck in my craw, and thank you for thanking me.
No, I just want to acknowledge that.
Demons release. I feel great.
Good, now we can
By the way, of course, I didn't really care, and we had the best time that day. So thank you for having me.
Welcome.
And look at this great shirt. Malls, I'm sorry I didn't bring you in.
No, it's fine.
Also,
it's fine.
I'm 3T probably wouldn't fit you.
I'm too intimidated by like tennis etiquette. I feel like I'd fuck it up real bad. Like I just wouldn't even. I can't. It's like stressing me out. But Caitlin, I have to tell you, I am really excited to have you here. Am I taking your pod virginity? Actually,
I actually have my own tennis podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a cunt. I'm so sorry.
You're definitely taking my advice giving show. I'm really nervous actually that I'm not going to be a good advice giver.
No, everyone's a good advice giver.
I'll definitely give advice,
and I want your 3 reasons. If you guys brought your reasons, can I please have them?
Well, I was told that I needed to bring reasons about 15 seconds ago, so I'm just going to off the cuff it. I didn't know that. She goes, by the way, you need 3 reasons.
Michelle, peek behind the curtain.
Peek behind the sea. So one is I feel like I'm tall, which gives me an advantage because I see things from a different perspective.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm funny, which means that if I want to tell you something that's perhaps difficult to hear, I'll code it in something that is that won't hurt as much.
Okay.
Like I'm sensitive.
You'll
So
soften the blow.
Number 3,
with
I'm a
comedy.
Cancer. I'm a Cancer.
I'm a Cancer too.
What day were you born?
July 20th. I'm a cusp. Are you a cusp?
Full Cancer,
Ooh.
girl.
You're in the
When
middle.
are you?
July 9th.
Yeah. You're
Oh,
in the
wow.
thick of it.
Me and
Cancers
OJ.
are very sensitive. Our producer, normal producer, Christina, is a Cancer. Her mom's a Capricorn. My mom's a Capricorn, or my mom's a Cancer. I'm a Capricorn. It's a very interesting dynamic we
blend.
have. It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
But you guys, Caitlin, I need your
Okay, well, I'm going to
reasons.
steal Cancer because I feel like
Okay.
we're emotional people who connect and we empathize.
Very.
Like, you know, we'll get teary hearing somebody else's pain.
Beyond. I
Beyond.
cry all day.
Okay. The second thing is I am a gay lady, so I feel like that gives me sort of an empathetic viewpoint on like the fact of like not being always understood, maybe, or like
Absolutely.
Been through it.
I kind of been through it. I mean,
Totally.
look, let's be honest. I'm like a cisgendered, like middle class kid who, like, you know, I'm not like.
Honestly, when I see you first thing, I think cisgendered. I don't want
Yeah.
to like put that on you,
I
but
get that a
it's,
lot.
like,
I
where
get that a
go.
lot. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go
It's
on.
fine. And then the other thing is I'm a mom. I hope I'm like not a lame mom, but I think like being a mom, you're just kind of like, oh, cool. I guess I'll just like make a decision about this and like have some reasoning, even if you have to back into it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm always like, no. This is my opinion on sending my child to school with peanut butter, even though there's a kid in the class that has a nut allergy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think you have
I
to come
hate
up with
that
like
kid.
I fucking do too.
I
My wife
hate
is like,
them.
just fucking send the sandwich. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, maybe we shouldn't. But like, you have to be decisive in a way that's like, and like stick with it. So I feel like
Controversial
that-
opinion. I don't think that you should feed into kids that have nut allergies. Like if we lose
think we should
them,
just let
if
them
we
die?
lose them, we lose them. I just think that like pandering to allergies is like how we got here. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
true. It's like Purell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like-
Yeah, you need a little rigor, like a little bit of like genetic.
You need to like get that in you in order to be okay with it, I feel.
Yeah, I'm like, kid, lick the sidewalk. That's cool. We live in New York. You want to touch the pole in the subway? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's going to stop you from getting something worse later.
Full of heart valve. Did you know that, Molly?
I'm sorry?
They did a test on the New York subways.
Yeah.
They did a thing, and the first thing on my train line was heart valve.
I
don't know what
that
it
is.
I don't know what that's a body part,
It's
right?
a body part, but I guess there are people who are like butchers and stuff riding the subway.
Oh,
and
literally
so,
a
like,
body part.
it's
Oh,
like
shit.
the juice of the heart valve is on there.
Oh
Anyways.
my God. Okay, so you guys, we're gonna start taking our calls just because we are a short
We're
show
ready to
today.
give advice too. Like, I'm primed.
So ready.
I'm always ready, you guys. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, Moms, Christina, and guests. My name is Alyssa. I am calling mostly about some like serious jealousy and envy that has like entered my life and is super uncomfortable. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory, I guess, because I think it kind of like frames some of where I'm coming from. I've been in recovery. I've been clean and sober for about 8 years. So I think a lot of like what crops up for me is like those underlying issues that may be related to that. So it's like a lot of insecurity. And I grew up like outside of New York City in one of the suburbs. So I'm used to being around the like kind of uppity people. It's all about the image. It's all about the outside. No offense. And I moved from that area, and recently a girl from that area also moved to where I live now, and like it's just been like a mirror to everything that I don't have and wish that I did, and a lot of like women that I am connected with, we all like look to this person as like what we want to attain, and I get like so filled with this like sense of insecurity that like if only like my family was wealthier, I would have had the things that she has now, right? So like she has a master's degree, she has an education, and I'm often like, I am so fortunate to like have the things that I've worked for at the age that I am now. I've built so much for myself, but like I don't have a master's degree, and it's like I find myself over and over in my head like this. I don't know the right word for it, but like tearing apart her achievements internally. And like all I ever want to do is be like, yeah, but like her family paid for her education, and like, oh yeah, but she only has that like because someone else gave it to her. And it's like I'm like watching this version of myself unfold who's like very, very bitter towards people who like have things that I believe they didn't work for. So I guess like where I'm looking for advice is like, how do I get over that? You know, like, I believe that there's like plenty of successful people in this world that I'm happy for. So it's like, what is happening that there's this one person that I like can't be happy for and like don't want other people to be happy for either. And I know it sounds petty and I know it sounds crazy. You know, and so it's like, it's embarrassing. So I keep it to myself, but I feel like it's so quick for me to pick out this person's personality flaws, and overall flaws to make myself feel better. And it doesn't actually work. It just feels good in the moment. So hopefully I don't sound too crazy. I promise I'm usually normal. But yeah, I thought maybe you guys would have some feedback on like how to love people unconditionally. That's it. Thank you.
I mean, doesn't everyone do that? That's like what half of life is like looking at what other people have and then hating them for it.
The 2 words that I wrote down, you supplied us with pen and paper. All caps, I wrote, I'm bitter. And I underlined it. Like, I'm not, this is a tough one to answer because I could use your advice. I think we all could.
Yeah.
Like, jealousy, I think, can be healthy sometimes because I do believe it drives you and can, I don't know, fuel you. And sometimes it is a little bit blown out of proportion, of course. But it sounds to me like there were other issues that this girl had outside of just being a little jealous. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, obviously, yes, we all have this. We all like keep up with like,
right,
or don't with what our friend group is doing. And I think especially for me, a lot of it gets into like gender, right? Like, if I were a dude, this idea or this business meeting or whatever would be going so much better. Where would I be? You know, that's something I think about a lot. And I think for me, what was actually really laudatory about what you said is like, you're really self-aware. That's great. And actually,
totally,
you're trying to look at your bitterness and you're trying to look at your insecurity, which like, if you were actually a terrible, insecure, bitter person, you probably wouldn't even like occur to you to ask the question. So like, kudos for that. And then the second thing is like, if you can be happy for most people, then there's obviously like triggering things about this woman. Like, it goes beyond just her success or her master's degree. Like, what is it about it?
Sucks.
She probably sucks.
Because that girl seems so nice. And honestly, who wants a master's degree?
I literally was going to say, I wish you would pick someone who's maybe less boring to be envious of. Because, like, that sounds, master's school, like, getting a master's degree, it sounds so fucking boring to me.
Also, you just show up and
like
pay
the
money.
last thing
like,
I'd want to do.
You know, did she invent a cancer curing? Like,
exactly.
You know, like, yeah, you can have a master's degree. Like, you can swing
like,
a dead cat and everyone has a
Ronit,
master's degree.
Who is a 49. She may no longer be living. We don't really talk to her side of the family anymore. But anyway, she only had master's degrees. She never worked. She was always in school. And my whole family was like, ugh.
So what?
Ronit, like, she sucks. So it's fine. Like, let her have her master's degree. I don't know. What do you think, Molly?
I mean, well, first of all, I do want to say I always, yesterday I was appreciating that you were like literally name checking people from your high school on your podcast, like first and last name. And the fact that you just gave your cousin's actual name on this podcast.
If she listens to this podcast, my bones will turn to a fine dust. Like,
also, it means she's
way.
Still alive. So
she's like in Israel. She probably lives in a kibbutz right now. I mean, this woman is not going to hear this, but I hope she does.
Yeah.
I hope she does.
I mean, we might have listeners in Israel, so shout out.
Yeah, big time.
You know, look, I just think that, exactly what you said. I think that was the exact right piece of advice. And maybe just pick more interesting people to hang out with. And then also, you know, I don't know. Growing up without money is tough. I think that I do this with people that are better looking. Like, that's definitely a thing for me. But I'm very comfortable with the fact that, like, I didn't grow up with money and that I kind of figured things out by myself. And I think that you need to own the part of you that's more proud of what you've done and your accomplishments. It's not, I have family members that grew up with money and they're really like not great people.
The worst.
Yeah, the worst.
I did find it funny, and I wrote this down too, where, you know, you were saying you're jealous of people's looks, and she went, you know, I come from a neighborhood that was all about the outside, and then she went, no offense, which is like, what? Like, that's weird. How does she know what we look like? I'm like, okay, maybe you're the bitch. No, you know, I'm sure she's lovely, but I'm just saying.
But she could be.
That wasn't nice. Like, no offense.
Yeah.
Is that what do you think that was directed toward us? I think that
100%.
I come from a town all about the outside. No offense.
Yeah.
Is that how you took that?
Yeah.
I mean,
how else would you take that? I'm curious.
Honestly, the way I took it was that that's like maybe a misphrasing on her part. Like, she, instead of no offense, she meant like,
I was kind of flattered. I was like, oh, I'm glad you think I came from that, because I came from like a hippie, weird, like artsy neighborhood in Montreal where like everyone was a douchebag. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You're saying it's more about people from her town.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought it was like,
took it
we're the
as like
cultural elites.
I was like a hunchback with a pair of headphones on, listening to her taking the question. She's like, I'm really like, a lot of beautiful people, no offense, but like, what's your? Okay, that makes more sense.
Wait a minute. Speaking of beautiful people, I told you when you got here that I would tell you what happened after my date last night.
You must.
Okay, so I was like wasted. I was like pickled, and I found out Hugh Hefner died. I took the news really hard and weird. He is like someone that I've always looked up to a lot, which is I don't need it. I don't need to hear it.
We said nothing.
I know,
nothing.
but I just want to cut it off at the pass. So anyway, I took it really hard. Go outside. I think I'm crying and smoking a cigarette, reading about him dying, and texting my friend who was a playmate and being like, "Are you okay?" Because he was so good to her. And she actually lived in the bunny house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she there now?
No, she's a mom. But I actually got to go to the bunny house with her, and it's like, it's all very interesting. I'll tell you that much. Like, it really is. Everything everyone says about the mansion and the bunny house are true.
Can I ask a question about it? It seems like it would be not just gross because of the things that go on there, but just like the decorations.
Not
seem
clean.
Like poor man Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Like faded
Yeah.
carpets.
Yeah.
Nothing's been
Unwashed
updated.
velvet.
Not clean that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's for bunnies in transition, basically. Like for like,
I'm sorry.
if like
I'm sorry,
if
what?
bunnies are like, you know,
Like a halfway
between
house?
it's kind of a halfway house for bunnies.
Also, why the no mom rule? Like, can you not be a bunny?
You can't be you're saying living in the house.
No,
I mean, not saying you want to. but
No.
you're just
Well,
saying,
with
like,
the kids,
well,
they fall in the
kids then.
grotto.
Well, when I went to Fun in the Sunday,
Grotto is not childproof.
people were bringing their kids. Former playmates were there with their kids, and I'm like, I love this. I love the family-oriented environment.
That's literally, I think, the first time that phrase has been uttered, and I just want to pause and salute you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm out on the street having a moment. This man walks up to me, and he's like, totally nice guy. He's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Somehow, like, we wound up like talking for a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the deli and get cigarettes, and I'm walking down the street. I like bought him flowers at the deli, and then
What did he look like? Is that rude?
I wanna
no.
know
This
too.
is
I wanna
part
know.
of this. Well, no, he was God, I would say he's probably like 30. He's probably around my age. He was a young black guy.
Was he like a 7?
Out of 10? Yes, but it wasn't like an attraction thing.
I got it.
Like, and I also immediately friend zoned him, like right away. Like, I think sometimes I lie about being engaged when I'm drunk.
Got it.
I have a diamond ring on this hand, so I just sometimes switch it over if I'm in a bar or something because I don't like to talk to people.
I don't blame you.
And people are a lot less interested in talking to you when you're married.
Oh,
Do you
can't wait.
understand?
I cannot wait.
So
Everybody wants to talk to me. It's exhausting. Okay,
Yeah.
go on, Malsa.
So anyway, by the way, some drunk Australian was being super rude to me last night at the bar. She was like, "Look what you guys have done with Donald Trump." I'm like, "Do you think I did this? like, I am
Australia
anti
can
that."
Keep it. I mean,
I mean,
they invented like the Murdoch family. Like, no, thank you. That's why we have this.
good. I
terrible-
should have fucking said
And
that.
they're the most racist.
Oh,
by the
literally.
way.
Australians are the
terrible.
Absolute worst. Sorry,
Go on.
Australians.
I
So
mean, I like them, but they're very.
They're fun, but
they're
they
like
suck.
very funny. But yeah, they're horrible. Okay, go on.
so he goes, "Do you want to see my secret?" And I was like, "Sure."
Oh my God.
No hand.
Oh,
Wait, this was before you bought him flowers or after?
like were you handing him
After.
the flowers? And
After, no.
Was it like a Banksy cartoon? Because I'm picturing you handing it.
it's like an empty sleeve.
No, but like regular listeners of the pod will realize that this always happens to me. I always wind up talking to someone and then they reveal to me that they have like they're missing a body part.
Can I ask an honest question? How'd you not notice? I would have noticed.
Asked my best friend. I was in a gym class with someone who didn't have a hand for an entire year, and I didn't realize it. I played
Wow.
volleyball with the person who
You never
right,
noticed.
everyone.
Yeah.
I
this is a you thing.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
is definitely a me thing. Like I'm constantly encountering this, or just like not realizing things all the time.
It's like reverse ghost limbs. Like normally, you know what I mean? Like you're actually seeing a hand where there isn't one.
yeah, I am.
Maybe that's
I just legitimately snorted. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
go on. What an interesting thing.
So yeah.
only one hand missing.
Only one hand
Okay, that's
missing.
fine.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
no,
that
it
was his
wasn't
secret,
both
though.
hands.
Honestly.
I know.
I
Oh
thought
no,
it was gonna take a weird.
you thought it was going to be like a
terrible
dick
turn,
out
yeah.
on the street. I realized that too,
Yeah, it's New
and,
York City, I mean.
and I also realized that it should have occurred to me that like if a guy says that to you that you don't know, you shouldn't say yes.
He said, "Want to see my secret?"
And
Yeah.
then you said yes.
But
Yeah.
it's a secret. Was he wearing a glove? I mean,
Yeah.
it was
did he
like
have a fake
I
hand?
think he keeps it in his pocket.
right.
He might have kept it in his pocket. But, like, I think a normal person would have realized, oh, it's like 90 degrees out. Like, why does this man have a jacket on and his hand in his pocket? I don't know.
I want to bring up a thread that you started with, which is this like a Capricorn thing? Like, is this both a soul bearing thing for people to just sort of want to tell you?
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
I mean, we've been friends for a year, but I have never met you in person. And just today, I was talking about, you're just, so I think maybe there's like
people
an energy
just tell me
aspect where you're
everything.
just
It's the truth. I mean, that's why I do
deceiving.
Please Advise. They
Of
just
course,
want to give
right.
it to me.
but with no limbs.
So how did it end?
We exchanged phone numbers, and I woke up this morning and I got a text from him. He's like, sorry, my phone died. He's like, I want you to know you really are my friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
And I haven't texted him back yet. And I have to do it like if I have a break at some point tonight, I'm going to do it because I have to say something to him because I can't let him think that he told me about his hand and then I ghosted him as a friend. I feel bad about that.
It sounds to me like the hand had nothing to do with it. Like it just was there for you.
No,
in a
we
low
just
moment,
said
you
no. I know.
Connected, and then it's like, well, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it's like a guest who doesn't leave soon enough. You just it needed to end maybe sooner.
Anyway, I'm like I have the emotional range of a child. Like I don't.
When you
understand
said you were going to
things.
update us about your date.
No,
Again, I just didn't see.
No, I know. And when I first was kind of telling Michelle about it, I made it sound like I got late or something.
You were like, I said, how'd your date go? And she goes, oh, it's fine, but I have to tell you what happened after. And I was like, ooh, this girl was in a hotel because that's like the best, when you're like, oh, whatever, and then you meet someone special.
And then your finger combing someone's beard in a hotel bedroom. Yeah.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
What?
The date was nothing. It's just do you not want to talk about it?
It just ended weird.
Got it.
Like we got lost when we were walking, and he's like born and raised here. And I was like, can we just take a lift? And he's like, no. Like we're really close. And I was like, yeah, it was a pretty close walk from the restaurant, but then we walked to like a bar from there.
That's annoying. Okay, yeah.
And then he also revealed that like he forgot the weed gummy bears that he asked me when I was flying over, he was like, are you bringing edibles with you? And I was like, probably. Guys, I pack weed in my suitcase all the time. I travel with drugs all the time.
Edibles or the leafy
kind? Edibles.
Yeah, that's okay.
But the leafy kind I used to do before I had my card. I was like, I'm a real bad kid. Like I put it in a shampoo bottle always.
You can actually take edibles, like if you get the gummy kind, and put them in an airborne canister.
Oh, interesting.
Think about it.
Good to know. Do you find dates with edibles are better?
Oh, no, we weren't going to eat them on the date. I was just like bringing them to him because it's different. It's a different marijuana scene here
like
than
as a
it
gift.
is there. Yeah.
By the way, I am a very bad pot person, but I just know about the airborne thing from a long ago trip to Colorado. But I don't eat it. I don't smoke it. I'm not good with it.
Yeah, no.
I'm anxious. I lose my mind. Yeah.
Well, I started doing more psychedelics recently, which has made me cut back on almost everything, weed, drinking, everything.
Really?
It's just, I love psychedelics now. I'm really into it. It's a fun journey. But so normally for a 4-day trip to New York, I wouldn't bring weed with me.
Got it.
So I was kind of like, dude, like I fucking brought you your weed gummy bears across the country. I could have gone to prison.
And what did you want in exchange?
Nothing. I just didn't want him to forget them.
Oh, like in your hotel room, you're saying? Or like where?
No, he like left them at the restaurant.
Oh, got it.
And get
we're
you
back.
lost in his hometown.
Yeah, and
Sounds
so
like
it
he
was
wasn't,
just,
like,
but like
on his A game.
He was great. I mean, like we snuck into a birthday party. Like it was. That's the other thing too. It was disappointing because like when the wheels just fall off the cart and you're like, how did that happen?
Yes.
Like this was great this whole time. Like that always happens when I just start dating someone that I don't know that well. Like it's just like, oh wow, like I've entered into a relationship with a psychopath.
Right. Well, everyone's out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that every single person is, including myself, is like shit eating crazy. Is that okay to say?
Oh, I think it's absolutely true. And I think
Everyone.
the best you can hope for in this cold, dark world is just like matching up with somebody else's crazy in a way that's like productive.
That's what the goal. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Because like you can't really cure your crazy. You can just like hope it like fits together like a jigsaw puzzle and be like, your crazy is actually helping my crazy, and like here's how we can like combine.
So beautiful. Honestly, like that really inspires me.
You know, it's out there for you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. We're gonna take one more call and then we have to wrap it up because this is a real short episode.
Already?
Yes.
Is it because I was 10 minutes late?
It is because of that. Yes.
Let's pack as much possible advice into this
I have
one.
to have
I'm really
Ruby and
gonna-
Marcel
I'm gonna,
on in a little bit. So,
I'm gonna stretch for this one.
let's. Okay.
Hey Molly, hey Christina. My name is Martha and I'm calling from LA. And I was calling because I need to redo my whole house pretty much. But most importantly, my restroom. And Molly, I love your restroom. The one that you take snaps of with the orange tile. I really like that look. I was wondering what color cabinets you had. Because I'm getting custom cabinets and doing all that stuff, and I really have no idea what I'm doing. So if you could give me some pointers, maybe what company you used, or the tile, information, that would be great. But mostly, I know that I want like an orange look, like the tile that you have. But I was just wondering what color cabinets would go with that, and if you, I guess the flooring, what that's like. I don't know. I guess just basically, can you describe your restroom to me? Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
First of all,
oh wait, sorry.
Oh God.
No, that was an example. This is an example of what happens sometimes on Please Advise. Is that a 3-second question becomes a 3-minute one?
They really go on and on. I heard the dinging of the car door open. She was already in the 405. I'm like, you made it like ask what color. Also, what a personal question. What color your cabinets are? How dare
I
she?
mean, God damn it! If you literally want to just rip my style, that's fine. I totally get it. But so to answer your question, I had mine custom built by my construction company, which I would not recommend because they are a bunch of fucking thugs.
Wow.
And no, they're absolute thugs. And I had to have
own
them.
your place?
Yes.
Wait, so what happened? I'm sorry.
So I got a big walnut live edge, piece of walnut with a live edge, which is the exact look I wanted. I wanted it to look like there was just a slab of nature in my bathroom, because they call my house the tree castle. It's only 375 square feet, but it feels like a little tree house the way that I've laid it out. Yeah. So a lot of it's wood. My tile, my floor, to answer your other question, is it's the exact shit that's on the walls, except it looks like hardwood. So it's a tile. It's basically a tile that looks like hardwood, and I have it in gray in my downstairs bathroom. But I think
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah,
wood tile is to die for.
Thanks.
I'd love to see a picture of it.
Yeah,
I'll show you. Yeah. It's like a subway tile, but I went with a big piece as opposed to, and it's called Papaya Bright, the color. But I do want to let you know that with that color orange, you need to go with brass hardware. Okay, that you're gonna look like a fool if you don't. It has to be a brown. I think with orange, you need to have a brown or white. I don't think you can go really any other color. Black is obviously Halloween-y. I suggest that you go with that. If you're going with that 70s orange, you need to stick with.
It's very mid-centuries too, to do orange and walnut or teak and brass. Very pretty.
My house is very mid-century. But I do, yeah. So anyway, that's my answer. But my other cabinet is beadboard. You guys, if you could just refresh your whole place right now, what room would you do and why? Tell me about it.
This is directed towards us.
Yes.
Well, that's a triggering question for me because I'm moving on Monday and I'm in the process. I'm moving to a very lovely apartment. It's a 1-bedroom. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of clothing, and my stress is, where am I going to hang things? That's the big one for me because there's not a ton of closet space. And also I have a huge couch right now. I truly have a couch for a giant, which I am. I'm 6'1", but I don't think it's going to fit in the right way in my new, the living room can fit a couch, big one, but the chaise, it's not on the right side. So the whole thing is fucked up. And I feel really sick over it because it was an expensive couch. I don't even know if I can sell it this weekend. It's just, I don't know what to do.
I know. I had the same exact situation with my couch that I was obsessed with. Yeah. And I wound up putting it in storage because I was if I ever get a second place, or if I, can send it somewhere or give it to someone, I will. But I feel I can't sell it because I had a really dark depression on that couch, and I did not leave the sectional for 6 months.
So
and I feel I feel I would have to disclose to someone I was very depressed here for 6 months.
It's like a murder in an apartment.
It's yes,
you need to put
exactly.
You have to tell them. I on this couch I've never had any sort of breakdowns. My last couch I had one, but I did sell it.
Did you sage it though?
No, but actually, you bring up a good point. I'm going to go sage my new place tonight.
Sage
I just
it.
got the keys.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, I'm so glad you
You're
brought that
welcome.
up. No, seriously. I have sage in the house. I keep extras.
Oh, I do too.
Okay.
I actually have
forget
some
it.
just in case.
Yeah.
I would actually do my bathroom, so I was hoping we could take this in a bidet direction, which is one of my favorite
want a
topics.
bidet?
Oh, like nothing in the world.
no way.
You
No.
guys, what are you talking about?
You get a thing in the shower with the telephone. And
No.
then you wash it like
I
that.
want to be able to constantly go in and refresh my asshole. That is a fact. First
No,
of all,
it's so horrible.
it's not horrible.
Ugh.
Okay, so you have two options if you go with a
It's
bidet.
rough to look at.
It is rough to look at. So this is why I actually am
sorry.
recommending. I actually literally asked my wife for my birthday this year, and she didn't take me seriously, so I followed up several times, and she's still not actually taking it seriously. But for my birthday, I wanted one of those Japanese toilets.
The
You
Toto.
need the Toto, yeah.
That we can all agree is a throne. That's a throne. That's
I
a
considered it.
I have to tell you what I don't like about the Toto, because I've sat on a Toto, with it sizzling hot, like a fajita plate at Fridays. I don't like that little wand comes out.
Well, how
and
else is it gonna get
may
in
I
there?
finish? And sprays the asshole an inch away from where your asshole
It's
is.
an
It's really
intense
high
stream.
up there. But then mine and yours? No. Give me my own wand. I don't want the wand to
Right.
be so close to everyone's asshole like that.
That could be the future is everyone just walks around with their own ass wand.
Now, that's different.
You
That
know?
I could get behind.
It's the proximity of the wand to your asshole, and you feel like
because
there's
it's like
some
spitting back
contact
on it. I
Oh,
don't
actually,
know.
that's a really good point. It
Oh
is. Yeah,
my
it's like
God,
water
that's
falling back.
disgusting. Oh my God,
Well, guys, how do you
Michelle,
think it
just
works?
blew my mind. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've never really thought. I have to be honest with you. I tried not to think about
Yeah.
it because the first thing I was going to say is if I went into your house and like saw a bidet, I'd be
You'd leave.
thinking about your asshole. Like I'd be like, that's what it does. Is like it makes you like, oh, like
You wouldn't
Mike
think
and
Caitlin
Sharon
has a
love
clean
to.
asshole?
I just don't. I just, you know what? I feel like that's
You're gonna think
just,
about
I don't
it.
want
I
to
want you
think
thinking
about.
Just get wipes, clog up them drains, and just live your life. All the fish are dying anyways. They might as well have a couple wipes in there. You know what's the worst is when they pull that big white.
The blob.
The white
like,
blob.
out
Ugh.
from under like the
You know
sewers
about
of
that.
London, like fat wipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that.
Well, this is a
The
phenomenon.
white blob.
No.
Tell her.
You tell her.
Let's tell her together. Okay.
It's a giant
Yeah.
blob that festers in city sewer systems. Currently, there's one that they just unearthed underneath
No.
London
Yes, of
because
all the wipes.
everyone flushing their wipes, and it's like a combination of like all the worst stuff,
Like
sanitary pads,
Vaseline.
Vaseline, like anything that doesn't biodegrade, all
Wow.
ends up. And it's like there's fat in it for some reason. I think because of the petroleum.
That's
I got that
so
fat ass,
fucking
y'all. I got that
disgusting.
fat
and
ass.
it's like it clogs up the entire system, and they remove them like with like heavy duty construction equipment, and like they weigh tons in the tons.
People are animals, but this is what I'm saying. In my shower, as an example, this is my ass washing routine. I changed the shower head to like a fancy, you know, the one that you can
To a
remove.
targeted spritz.
Oh, it's fantastic. I have it. And here's a tip. People are not going to like me saying this,
What?
but I'm going to go there. Okay, so you know how they want to save water these days, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Even though places are flooding, we're saving water. So, that was like a stupid thing I just said, but I'm going to push forward. You can take a pair of pliers and remove the thing that's like the water saver in your shower head so that you get like the full Seinfeld blast.
Yeah,
So of course I did that. It took 2 minutes, and I have to tell you, I gleam. I literally
it's like night and day.
gleam.
Yeah.
It is night and day.
Yeah,
That's
every
good to
person I know
know.
has done this.
That's
It's
good to
wonderful.
know. I loved that. Thank you. The white blob, all of it.
That's some advice. Take that. To
By
I
the
the
really
bank.
want to vomit thinking about.
Boom.
I'm so sick of. I'm like that wipe thing, and I also feel like that's all
Well, definitely don't look at the pictures on the
Sean
internet.
Diddy Combs. That was his doing.
mean-
he was the first person to come out and talk about how much he loves to wipe his ass.
Are you sure
with
it's not
baby
Terrence
wipes.
Howard?
I don't pay attention to him.
Because Terrence Howard is the one who went on the record, because he's like kind of fucked up, saying that he makes all his women wipe down before ever, you know, fucking them or whatever else. But like
No.
multiple wipes, not like a simple Pampers swipe, you know?
When did he say this?
Many, many, many years ago. I don't
Proud of
remember,
him.
maybe 2008. I don't know.
Finally, that bit of trivia is useful.
You know what?
I know.
I don't think
later.
he's
Gotta do, like-
wrong. I have to be honest. I don't think he's wrong.
It is a great feeling.
Michelle, I do want to ask you if you're allowed
Sure.
to talk about this. My least favorite person in the world, Robert Herjavec. Did you say that you had an altercation with him?
Did we talk about it on my podcast?
You tweeted at me about it because I like talk
Oh, yes.
regularly about.
Why don't you like him? I like him, for the record.
He's my literal enemy because he's stupid. Because it's like he's.
This is amazing.
No, he's like he's ruins my favorite show. Like it's why
It's the
I'm
best
so
show.
upset about Bethany coming on this year too. It's like I've had enough of you, Bethany. like your fucking antics. But he is just, for a self-made millionaire, he has no fucking self-esteem. He is the saddest person to watch. He has no self-esteem. He's always
gorgeous.
He needs to be the first. That means nothing to me.
It means a lot.
I don't even see that people don't have hands. So obviously, like him being I see past the physical. Okay, I'm telling you, he is shaking inside constantly. That's why he needs to be the first one. He's like, oh, I'll try your hoverboard.
Yes.
Oh, I'll try out your like new skateboard. Why does he always need to be the one that interacts? He's so desperate and so just he wants any opportunity he can to seem interesting. It's the most boring thing to me.
I will say I do love him because I love that whole show, and as you do, clearly. I do find it disingenuous when he pretends to like love dogs. Because he always, every time a dog, and I love dogs, but every time a dog comes on, he's like, oh, he like comes up, he like scratches it, but there's something about the way he pets it where I'm like, has he ever pet a dog? Like there's something weird about his interaction with animals that I have sensed.
Also, like, will say, can I hold it?
Yes.
And like he'll hold the animal throughout the entire pitch, which like if that was me, I'd just be like over there looking at Wags the entire time, who, by the way, wouldn't even be allowed in the tank because he's so ill-behaved.
I will say, and the dogs always fall asleep in his lap because, you know, it's not like the 10 minutes you see. They're there for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Wait a second, follow-up question. Why would he pretend to like dogs? Just like to be,
I don't know.
Be more affable?
He's like Men in Black. Like it seems alien-y when he goes up to them.
Because he's fucking desperate. It's because he's desperate for attention. So I would love if you would tell me, you said you had a little interaction with him that did not go super smooth.
It didn't.
Will you tell me?
Of course.
Tell everyone.
I only actually started telling the story very recently because it happened during my LOL season-long tenure on The View. And I'm like very... I don't know. I don't like to like tell negative stories because it's not my brand. Ha ha ha. That's a lie. Come to my UCB show. I do nothing but tell negative stories. But anyways, so he was on, they knew that I loved Shark Tank. It's like my favorite show. I will say I find him to be by far the best looking shark, perhaps after Damon, because Damon's quite handsome, but he always goes after the most bro-y, like techie stuff. Like his brand does not mesh well with my brand. That being said, the sharks came on The View. It was a shark themed hour because it was shot in advance, evergreen, they call it, to air whenever.
Totally.
So, of course, I'm like shaking. I kept saying it's like meeting One Direction, the Beatles. Like, I was like, this is the most exciting day of my life. I put on like a great dress. I was so excited. So anyway, so they split the sharks up and it was, Mark, Barbara, and Kevin, let's say, I don't remember. And then with Robert, it was Robert, Lori, and I think Kevin was with them. It was 3 of them. And so Robert was talking about how he was on Dancing with the Stars. Mm-hmm. And, when he was talking about it, a show I don't watch, even though that's fine. I just never got into it. But he was like, yeah, I didn't win. But, he met his wife.
Yes.
Was his dancing
because
partner.
He's desperate. Yeah.
Well, he was married. And then he divorced his wife to marry his dancing partner.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And also, if you go back on previous seasons, the way he speaks about his wife and children and the amount of money he lost to divorce her to marry this woman is insane. Because she was with him before he got rich.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, so long story short, I should add that I said something that offended him, but I didn't know. I was raised in a home where the thing that I said to him was always considered a compliment. So you have to understand that we'll talk about that. But just know that I did not mean it in a negative way at all because I truly adored all of them. So I would never do that. So he was saying, well, I was on Dancing with the Stars and like it didn't work out, but I met my wife or whatever. And I went, well, I said, you didn't win the trophy, but you won a trophy wife, which is also like not even offensive really at all. And he was like, that's not nice. And it was not a live show. So we like stopped down. Obviously this didn't make the final cut, but I turned white as a fucking ghost. I was like, I do not believe this. I've offended Robert, son of immigrant factory owners. Like, how could I? And Whoopi, God bless her, stepped in to be like, she did not mean anything by that at all. And literally I was like this special, like I felt like such an idiot because I would never offend, like I'm professional. Even if I didn't like him, I wouldn't have said it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Also, you're like wordplay. Just haha.
It's wordplay, and also my mother, who is an Israeli. You talked to her yesterday on my podcast.
Sweet as pie.
Fresh batch. I'll do a plug. But my mother always taught me. Even to this day, she goes, to me, being a trophy wife is a great thing. You're beautiful. He's proud of you, and you're his trophy. And I'm like, I get it. Trust me. To this day, I'm like, I don't see what the big deal is about being called a trophy wife if you have other qualities. What a bonus, you know? But anyway, so they edited that out. But apparently backstage, Mark and Barbara were like really laughing and like clapping, which I kind of loved.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather be on the side of Mark and Barbara always.
No shit.
Yeah,
like those are the sharks to be with.
They're the best
I think they're the ones I would take a deal with. Do you have a shark you'd take a deal with?
I like Lori because I do find her, she's very sweet, and I think that she makes a shit ton of money.
I'm not an inventor, though. I couldn't invent a gadget.
What would you go on with, like an app or something?
I'd probably go on with like an app or a service. I would find something that like fills a need, but I wouldn't invent it.
Disposable bidet wand.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I've already invented
This is my
that.
one contribution.
Backwards. What would we call it?
Yeah.
I'll think of something.
Okay.
Backsplash.
That's good.
Well, yeah, we're gonna
abracadabra. I should go.
Yeah,
you guys write in with your suggestions. You guys, thank you so much for being here, Michelle, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Caitlin, where can people find your magazine?
Ooh, plug for Racket. At all your fine bookstores on all of the coasts and in many, many international cities. Or on racketmag.com.
Absolutely. And also download the Acast app, you guys, because you can follow all my podcasts on there. We do everything with Acast, and I love them.
Yeah.
We're here right now. Michelle, what about you?
Thanks, babe. You can follow me online at Mishcall, MICHCOLL. I host Fresh Batch. Molly was on this week. You were so funny.
Oh, thanks, girl.
You were great. Listen to that. And I have a show at UCB Chelsea on October 11th.
Tell me about your show at UCB.
It's called Magic Mish XXL. Every month is different. I plan nothing. I go in literally with nothing planned. Some pictures, some stories in my head. But next month, my parents will be there, which means a lot to some people. So
yes,
you want to see what made me.
That would give me such anxiety. I really think that I would stand on stage and just freeze the entire time.
I'm debating not having them come. I'm plugging that they're coming.
Do it.
No, I mean
Just
that you
to lock
don't
yourself
know going into it. Like I would get up there and just like nervous talk for a half an hour if I didn't. I mean, you are a comedian, so like you are used to being on stage, but how do you like go in without a plan? I would die.
Well, I have an idea for like I always have some beef with like companies. I have a lot of corporate beef. So I go in always with like a story of like how I'm not eating at Lenwich anymore. That's a classic. I have like a lot of things like that. Enterprise Rental's dead to me. But, I don't know. I like to kind of vibe with the audience. It's almost like freestyle rapping in that way where you kind of, I would say it's exactly like freestyle rapping.
No, you're 6'1", cisgendered freestyle rapper. That's what I think of you.
So
yeah.
That's like one of the nicest things
I see you.
anyone's ever said. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's just going in and vibing and flowing and I don't know, feeling the energy and it's like I can't stream of consciousness, but it's funny. Like it's an enjoyable show, I promise.
Love that. No, I know. It sounds enjoyable. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Talk to y'all soon.
Thank you.